Okay, we're live. Oh my God. With Zoom. I'm so excited because it didn't work on my YouTube, on my Facebook group, in my Facebook group. Um, okay, so now I'm hearing myself there. Sorry about that. Anyway, so super happy to see you guys. I know I haven't been on here for so long, and I apologize. I've been very much into my Facebook group, and I've got like weekly pick a card readings and life healings, usually Fridays at 6. So I've just come off that and decided, oh, I'm going strong, so I'm gonna go and do something on YouTube. I haven't done that for so long. So a little bit about what I've been up to lately. I've joined a healing event, a launch tribe event for a book launch by Natasha Libre, and it's about when hearts heal. It's about heart healing, which is absolutely beautiful. I've got her oracle card set as well a couple of weeks ago, and it just went boom straight. First reading of it was so spot on already. It's brilliant. I love it. And I greatly love Natasha's work. She just had also the premiere of Zero Limits, which has got international awards already. And it's with Joe Vitale, and she's starring in it as well. So very exciting, and I can personally vouch for that. The modality of heart healing is just absolutely beautiful. It's helped me a lot. Yeah, healers need healing too. So the more we heal ourselves, the more we can, have a positive impact and healing on others, not just in this lifetime, but over generations, ancestral lines, our children, and going forward, future generations, and all of that. So it's definitely worth doing and putting the effort in. It's also making for a much happier life. The more you heal, the more beautiful life becomes, and the more healing and loving energies you can put out into the universe, and most of all our world, which really, really needs it right now. So I thought I'm gonna do a reading first, and then I do an energy healing. Okay, so we're gonna start with the goddess, of course. You know me and my goddesses. So we've got Hathor. Yeah, see, yeah, Hathor. She is nurturing. She's a mother goddess, but she's also, Lady of the West. Like she's the one who takes the freshly departed souls and brings them, into to the hall where there's, to the weighing of the heart ceremony and that. So she looks after deceased people, but she's also a mother goddess. She's a goddess of pleasure, of joy, of song and dance, and all of that. So that exactly is the energy we want to put out in the world. With everything that's happening, it's easy to feel sad, despaired, angry, hatred against some whatever groups we're against, and but that's not it. That doesn't make the world a better place, unfortunately. If hate made the world, and violence and war made the world a better place, we'd have peace already, wouldn't we? Like 2,000 years ago already. So obviously that doesn't work, so we've got to put some good energies out and take aligned action as well. Of course, not enough to be in your armchair and go like, oh yeah, I'm putting out the good vibes, so everything is going to go away. No, it's not. We do have to be active in whichever form we can, right? But do not forget to take good care of yourself. So you come from a place of peace and love and strength and power, rather than despair and fear and survival mode and hatred and anger and rage. I mean, of course, there's a holy rage as well. Stand up for injustices of, for things that are crimes against humanity, and every war is a crime, every femicide is a crime, any kind of act of violence is a crime, of course. But if we want to change that, if we want to change mass consciousness, it's not going to happen by buying into what they're feeding us. Okay, so in the mainstream, we can only change by standing up, demonstrating if we can, signing petitions, and and putting also, taking care of ourselves, so we can put as much love and peaceful energies out into the world as we possibly can, while taking aligned actions. So, right. So Hathor, for those of you who don't know, she's an Egyptian goddess with cow horns, and she also depicted as a cow. Usually she is depicted as a woman with cow horns. She's got the moon or sun disk, depends, sometimes this, sometimes the other. She's also lady of turquoise, of abundance, and she usually has cow's ears also, so which is so cute. Love it. And I love cows. I mean, have you ever looked into a real cow into her eyes and seen that? I mean, that is so soulful. It's anyway. So So nurture yourself so you can nurture others as well. Look after yourself, ground yourself. See that you don't get lost in a turmoil of things happening, right? Try and keep centered and grounded as much as you can, and that doesn't mean shutting off your compassion, okay? That is not what that means. That means you can stand up from a point of power rather than weakness, okay? So, and you know me, goddesses, what comes next? Power animals. So, so we've got the Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron Reid today, which is, let me just show you. There you go. I don't use it very often, and I don't lay spreads with it, but I use it as a an inspirational deck. Like, pick one and see the message. So that's what I use it for. So here we go. Swan Spirit, time for a deep dive. So if anybody has any kind of heat levels as we had here this week, and luckily it's gone down a little bit, but you might want to go and actually take that literally and dive into some pool, lake, ocean, whatever. But it also means go deep inside yourself, listen to your heart, see where your heart needs healing. Is your inner child hurt? Do you need to heal that? Wounds, heart wounds, and and make sure that you know what you're worth. Okay, speak to your heart, speak to your inner child, do healing, nurturings. Like Hathor, she's the mother nurturer. So you go deep inside your heart space, you nurture that, you be your own mother, you nurture your inner child, give it love, and see what comes up. Ask questions. Ask your subconscious memories. Okay? So that is, I'm not going to go into reading everything that it says in the guidebook, because otherwise we'll be here still tomorrow. Still going to do healing. But I think that is a good, that's a good thing also to, it's a good message. So we don't really need to expand on that. It really ties it nicely together, doesn't it? So we're also going to pull a heart healing card. So this is the Heart Healing Oracle by Natasha Libre. But here it just says Natasha Bray on it. So let's see. My YouTube audience and the world at large. Anybody watches this? Becoming magnetic. That's a good one for me as well. But it also means, you see what we've talked about, healing yourself, going deep within, doing deep down healing, and showing up from a place of power. That makes you more magnetic as well. When you stand in your power, people will notice you. People, you feel better anyway. But then it's like that's like your fear of being seen is healed more, so people will see you where you felt invisible before, or you were afraid to show yourself. Okay, so that one does have, just have a look, becoming magnetic, because it's actually not 94. It's not alphabetically ordered, so you always have to go in the front to have a look which page it is. So let me read that to you. A magnetic woman is a manifesting queen, a woman who attracts what she wants with ease because her personal energy is so potent. Most people think when it comes to manifesting that our thoughts create our reality, but I have found that we most attract what we feel, not what we think. Our magnetism reflects the relationship we have with ourselves. When we feel worthy, lovable, good enough, and capable, we become unstoppable. We attract the most wonderful experiences and people into our lives. Anything and everything becomes possible for us. We become magnetic. Becoming magnetic also involves giving to ourselves and others what we want to receive. For example, you may want more money, but hold on to yours out of scarcity. You may expect kindness or praise, but struggle to give that kindness and praise to yourself or to others. You may want love, but do not show yourself love. By being these things to yourself, you can shift your feelings to more positive ones and attract a different reality. Being magnetic comes down to two things: changing how you feel about yourself and being the example of what you want to receive in the world. Right, so that's it. And I'm going to have a look at the tarot cards, of course, as well. And today it's the Tarot of the Witch's Garden by Sasha Graham, which is right here. There you go. Okay. Let me hide my face. There we go. So now you can see it. Okay. Right. So the Heart Healing Oracle cards, you have to go to Natasha Bray's website to order them. Everything else you can get on, any kind of in any kind of bookstore, online store. So I should think. Right, let's see. Tarot cards. I love these particular because I'm getting more and more grounded in myself as well, and I'm having so much more connection to nature. I mean, I've always loved nature, but now I really feel like I'm craving it more, right? But not in a depleted way because I've got it right outside there. But it's like, everything is natural, growing my own herbs and all those things, makes me really happy. And yeah, so let's have a look. And these are very natural, as it's Tarot of the Witch's Garden. A lot of green in there, so oops. Okay, those are falling out, so I'm just gonna, let's see. Right. So okay, now I'm gonna drop kind of separately, and then we have here. That's three. I'm gonna put one more. There you go. Okay. Right, so let's have a look here. So overall, it's the moon. I know the full moon is not too far off, but I don't think that's about that one. But it's really about, okay, there's a lot of illusions going on as well, but we need to dive deep down, access our intuition, our subconscious, and navigate that, as I said, from a place of power, taking aligned action. But you need to be in alignment to be able to access that in the first place, obviously. So we have the Six of Cups. There you go. You see that? Yeah. I mean, they're so cute with the little fairies and things. And then we've got the King of Swords. There, I'm just going to show them all to you, and then we can go through them, okay? So, with riding a Pegasus. And then we have here the Six of Wands. Okay. So that's people coming together to celebrate victory. And now we have Justice. Okay, there you go. The Scales, Justitia. Okay, so Six of Cups with the King of Swords. So that means Six of Cups, that's like giving you direction, and also like you're still not quite sure where you want to go, but you've got like a calling that's very strong at the moment, and it's you might still think, I'm not quite sure which direction to take, or do I have the power, do I have the means, do I have the resources to do whatever I want to do, but it's there. And you do have a community that supports you, okay? You have that. If you don't just yet, you can find that. If you don't find it in your, in your local surroundings, you can always go online to social media. There will be, I mean, for that, Facebook is quite good because you have lots of groups for special interests, and, just it's the most brilliant platform for study groups, really. Just have to say that, as much as we hate Meta, but there you go. That's a good thing. And then having that alignment, we can then go forth and take aligned action, because we know now is the time to do that, right? We want to learn about things and we want to educate ourselves, but we don't want to wait for somebody else to do something anymore, because we've got that community in our back. We're standing shoulder to shoulder and we can go forward with a purpose, right? So the time of action is now. And when you go in community and you have a strong connection of all wanting the same thing and letting love guide the way, your hearts, you will be victorious, because love is a million times stronger than anything else. Hatred, fear, anything like that. The thing is, do not let things, people and events, whatever, take so much power away from you by making you stay in fear mode, in survival mode, in despair and hatred and anger and all these things, you know. So we can win that, and you will be part of this. And also in your personal stuff, whatever you do personally or as in business, it's a great time now to go forward with plans. You've got the community at your back, you've got people that support you, and you can go forward and you can make a success out of it, because justice will be served. It will be, and you will reap your just rewards for that. And when people come together and you stand up for justice, it will come to pass. It's not a question of if. That is the outcome that will happen when people get together and change things, because the people have the power. But it needs to come from the heart here. There's no point in hating on each other and division, you know, that thing, divide and rule. So the colonial powers have always done that. Everybody else who wanted to be in power, the best thing is to get people to fight each other, be afraid of each other, snitch on each other, all that kind of stuff, hurt each other. So as long as they're busy doing that, quibbling with each other, whoever's on top there can do whatever they like. The question is, do you want to let them continue doing that? I think we're more intelligent than that, right? And a lot more loving also. So unite and be strong, okay? And use your intuition, you will know the way, okay? So you're my goddesses, my priestesses, and that doesn't exclude men, of course, who are on that path, obviously, but right now we need a lot of divine feminine energy here. And that doesn't mean as whatever gender you identify yourself as. It's not about, you know, your physical sex, but it's about the energies. So we've had a lot of that toxic, masculine, patriarchal rearing its ugly head, but it's in the death throes. So we do not give up on that, and we go with our feminine power against that, because that is so strong. We can heal the world by healing ourselves, by standing in our power, stepping into our power, and letting intuition lead the way. Okay, and once we're in our power, we become magnetic, and we nurture each other, and we go forward that way. Okay, so that was that. All right, let me make a little bit of room here. All these cards lined up, oh my god. And I need a little sip of water as well. So I've been going to my children, like, look, I've got some, I've been here, okay, that light. But I'm actually, well, for my standards, it's brown. It's tan, but anyway, I'm like, look, I've got a tan, and they always laugh at me because they're half black, so from the dad's side, and they always laugh at me and go like, Mom, stop trying, not in this lifetime. Yeah, but I mean, everything is relative, isn't it? So I've got a little bit of a tan, which is nice, and I'm happy about that. Because who wants to look like a mozzarella cheese anyway, isn't it? Oh, that was the wrong one. Hang on. Let me just put that in here. Right. Okay, just putting that away. Oh no. Oh, well, whatever. And the oh, there we go. Okie doke. Right, so I've got a bit of room here. Let me put this here. And then I'm gonna put some healing sounds. Clearing the energy. Right. There we go. So I'm gonna do an energy healing. And so it's programmed for everybody who wants to receive this, now live or later, if you watch the replay. And in case, India, you're watching, it's good for you too. Anyway, so for now and in the future, I might want to have a look if I've got any. Oops, where are we? Okay. No live chat. Okay. I just wanted to see, because everything has changed, how things are done, and I'm not exactly a hacker wizard. So yeah, I've been struggling a little bit with technology, but I learn. I'll make it happen. Right. So I love when I work with my students. How many wonderful psychic insights they get once they are in that space, doing healing themselves. We talk about it, we exchange our experiences, compare notes, and as I'm doing attunements from a distance, I love letting my students tell me about what they've experienced, any kind of visions, feelings, sensations, whatever. And I let them tell me first, so that's always a one-on-one then, and when they're done, I'm gonna go, okay, I'm gonna tell you my side now. So what I do, I put up my altar and set up everything in the other room, and that's a process in itself. And I love to put lots of things because that really gets me focused and in the mindset, like cards and animal figures and crystals and things like that. And that helps me to get really laser focused on that person that I'm serving. And put, candles and essential oils and herbs and, that kind of stuff that I feel intuitively guided to add whatever that is. So then I tell them about this, and then I tell them about the feelings I've had during the attunement as well. But it's incredible how many synchronicities there are each and every time, and it always floors me again that I really feel awed. I really feel awed. And I should be used to it, but it never gets old. It just doesn't. It's so beautiful. And the last student I did that with, she said to me, this is your soul path. You're meant to do that. You're a healer and you are so powerful. I could feel all that physically. So, yeah. I mean, I'm doing it anyway because I love it so much and I love healing the world. I'm just a healer at heart and I follow that. And I've always been like that. So, yeah, I'll never stop either. But I've seen these beautiful luscious, I don't know, water lilies or lotus flowers, I'm not sure. But if that tells you anything, then and that's another thing when you also work in this area, if you're psychic or medium or whatever else, or do tarot readings, anything really, and you're with a client or you do a group thing, it's amazing. Do not be afraid to say things that you see or that pop into your head in some other way, whatever your clairs are, whatever comes, however it comes through, doesn't matter. Because it'll most likely mean something to somebody, and they will let you know most of the time as well. Like when I do my group healing sessions, and then things happen and I see things or I'm being guided to a certain body part that I usually don't pay special detailed attention to and things like that, and then somebody comes and tells me, that's exactly what I needed right there. How did you know? So, or what you said, what you saw, that has such a special meaning to me. And I can't believe you mentioned that because I would never think, if I didn't have that association myself, I would never think to mention that when I saw something like that, because I just think it's a bit silly or, maybe even embarrassing or something, depending. But it'll mean something to somebody. And even if it doesn't happen like that straight away, it will one day. Because I remember things people said to me decades ago. Okay, I'm not spring chicken anymore here, am I? So, yeah, I've got quite a lot of life experience under my belt, but I do remember things from decades ago, and they suddenly pop up in my head, and I'm feeling this is so amazing. This is so it's like planting seeds, and then it comes out. You know that there's some flower that only blossoms like every 100 years or something, and some other that only blossoms every 10 years. And I'm not a botanist, so you will want to Google this if you want to know more about this. It's just something popping up, and just like that in my head. But there's special things that happen, and the gestation period can take from instant feelings of, oh my God, yeah, light bulb, and I have an association with that, to decades later, and suddenly it pops up and it totally fits. Okay, so and you go like, oh my God, what that person said to me somewhere on my travels where I wasn't even supposed to be, but I lost my way or got sidetracked or whatever. And I met this person, which I wasn't really supposed to, and what a coincidence. And that person said this and that to me. And then you remember decades later, and it completely fits. And it gives you an insight, a deeper insight, or an affirmation, a confirmation of what you're feeling, what you're thinking, what you're doing, or helps you make a decision in one way or the other. So yeah, everything is connected. That is such a, I find that so beautiful. It humbles you, all that connection is so majestic. All the world, the universe, and everything, all of nature and all people, we really are all connected. And it gives me such a feeling of love and peace within me, because it also means nobody is ever alone. You're not really alone. You might feel alone, you might feel lonely. And I've had years of my life that I felt that way. I thought nobody has my back, nobody understands me, and I'm struggling all by myself and getting backstabbed by people I trusted and things like that. But once you come to realize how much we are all connected and all one, whilst being individualized expressions of that creative energy, or God, or the universe, or whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. It's just a word. So when it really sinks in, and it's not just in your cognitive mind, like, oh, I know that up here, but when that sinks in and it integrates, and it has the power to really change your nervous system as well. Because if you have anxiety, PTSD and stuff like that, it does alleviate a lot of suffering. And it promotes healing, a feeling of safety, security, confidence, most of all trust. Trust in a world that you might feel like has turned its back on you, or even like turned against you. But that's not really, it's not really like that. It's just people not understanding the deeper connections. So look out for beauty in life. If you live, especially if you live in a big city, make sure you find yourself places of nature where you can go to. It is so important. If there's no green around you where you live, make that effort and find a place which you can reach, like a little park, or even if it's just walking down another street that is lined by trees. Right? That makes a difference already. And when you're around a tree, hug that tree, okay? I know it's often used as a slur, the word tree hugger, but that's actually, trees have such beautiful energies, and they will ground and balance your energies in seconds. It's amazing what trees can do. So do not ever put trees down, because they're the shit. They really are. You don't want to mess with trees. And make sure you say please and thank you, of course. Should go without saying, but yeah, we do still have very much in our heads that plants are kind of like inanimate objects that we can do with whatever we like, but they're living entities, living beings, just like we are, with a consciousness. It's just very different to ours. And they have their own networks of communication and all of that. So they have an intelligence that is just absolutely uncanny and awe-inspiring. So yeah, we need trees, not just for oxygen. That's not the only reason. Right, so take a deep breath. It feels there's a lot of tension here, so take a deep breath. And really push that air out of your belly, and with it all that tension, let your shoulders droop. Let everything relax. Okay? So think about like you're floating in water or in the air, whichever one feels most comfortable for you. Or maybe you're lying like in a cocoon in the earth, or in a dragon's egg in a fire. I don't know, whatever kind of, whatever element you're happy with, that speaks to you the most. Just do that and float there, lie there. Know you're held, you're loved, you're nurtured, you're not alone, you're completely safe. Your heart is safe. Right now, nobody's gonna hurt you. can just relax, trust, and rest. Feel awareness in a few of you as well. So I've had that in a Facebook group as well. So, if you need to rest, that's a sacred act of self-care as well. At the moment, energies are going crazy around the world. And at the same time, there's such an acceleration in growth, in spiritual growth, inner growth and timeline healings and intergenerational healing and all sorts. There's so much going on. I've had so many shifts inside me this year. It's just absolutely crazy. I think this year happened that's like what, 6 months, the first 6 months of this year. More happened than possibly in the last 50 years of my life. Like in such a short time. And we need to take a breather as well, let ourselves catch up with all of this, integrate the new energies, and let our nervous systems catch up, because we don't want that to go all the way crazy, and shut down. So just make sure you give yourself the space, the compassion, the love, and find your peaceful place as well, where you can shut off from the world. Just be at peace with yourself, wherever that is. And visualize some beautiful blue light and green for peace, nurturing spiritual growth. And when you're rested, you can step forward, step into your power, and show up in a much different way. Take another deep breath in and out. And again in and out. That's it. It's amazing when you do that just a couple of times how much more you feel your energy flowing, and how much more calm, serene, and peaceful you get. Isn't it? Breathwork is just amazing, so powerful. Okay, so I take another deep breath and then slowly come back. So we're coming to the end of the healing now. Right. Thank you so much from my heart for allowing me to serve you this way. And if you want to work with me one-on-one, we can do that. Have a look in the In the description box, I've got the links there for the one-on-one. There's on my website the page entitled Goddess Healing. There are different bundles. There's also past life regression sessions on there. And then you can also study with me. I teach Reiki, Tarot, working with divine feminine energy in the form of goddess archetypes. So it doesn't matter if you think, goddesses are separate entities that you worship, or, you see them as archetypes, which is part of ourselves and an aspect of our own psyche. The way I work with them doesn't affect that. So it's non-denominational. You can go about it however you like, and it's going to be effective as long as you're open for it, doing the work. It's a wonderful way to discover your own feminine energy, step into your power as a goddess in the flesh, okay, and use that power. So, yeah, thank you, and I'll see you later. So much love. Bye.